standing behind our mayor. Y'all can stand close. Together. Let's get both sides. Dr. Nolan? Yeah, so we get everybody get in here. Yes. Get everybody by the mayor. Fellas, we got to get this together close. Good afternoon. Thank you for gathering here today. We as clergy across our community are gathered to stand with today with our mayor and our CEO of our schools as we roll out the Better, Brighter Futures program. We are in strong support of this program with the mayor, and we're proud to stand with him. We as clergy are here with the president of the United Passion Mission, Bishop Larry Macon. We also have Dr. A.L. Owens, who's president of Koinonia. We have the former president of the Baptist Ministers Conference, Dr. Leonard T. King. We also have Reverend Norris here, who's of the Cleveland Clergy Alliance, and I'm here, Pastor Aaron Phillips of the Cleveland Clergy Coalition. And we have many other pastors here and leaders to stand in support and always with our mayor. The clergy has had the support of our mayor since his first term, and he absolutely has our support in his next term. Let me now present to you, isn't that good? All right, let me now present to you Dr. Morgan, the CEO of our schools.
Thank you, Reverend Phillips, and thank you to Mayor Bibb, who I know we'll be hearing from in a moment, and Dr. Matthews. I know we're in your wonderful house, and all the faith leaders that are here today. As many of you know, last night I shared the recommendations for our Building Brighter Futures plan, which is a plan to ensure that every kid in every neighborhood has access to a high-quality education, no matter where they live, no matter their background, no matter what school they attend. And so this plan is one that will put our city moving forward and ensuring that all kids have access to a quality education. I know that with this plan that there are tough decisions that come with it, but I want us to lean into the brighter future part of the plan. There are two aspects of this plan. We know that there are some schools and students who will be impacted by this plan, but there are a couple of things I want to tell those families and students that are impacted by this plan, or the recommendation, should the board vote on it. One is that every student that is impacted in this plan, 100% of them will have an option to attend a school that has more or equal academic, extracurricular, sports, and student supports opportunities. That's something we can't deliver on right now. 96% of them will attend an equal or greater star-rated school, so they're moving to a higher performing school. 95% of them will be attending a school that is either equal or greater in building condition. That's something we can't deliver on today. And this plan saves us at least $30 million a year. And when you think of that cumulatively over 3 years, that's $90 million towards roughly around $150 million of savings. So it's an efficient plan, a better footprint with better schools. Now, even for students who are not impacted by this plan, if your school is not merging or moving, this will improve our entire system by ensuring that every high school will have access to college credit and career opportunities. Every elementary school will have at least one enrichment course, like Algebra 1, foreign language, CTE programs. It will actually be in all of our elementary schools. Pre-K in all of our schools, but 2 in this plan. And also, eventually 100% of our students being in new or upgraded facilities. So as we go through this plan, I know there's a lot of different things we have to get through, and we will be working with our school community, working with staff to ensure that we're with you every step of the way to support you through this transition should the board vote on this in December. We want to let everyone in Cleveland know that this plan is truly creating a brighter future for all of our scholars and uplifting our community. Thank you so much for your support. Mayor Bibb, thank you for your support, and for all of our faith leaders and so many others in the city, and we look forward to forging ahead. At this point, I will turn it over to Dr. Matthews.
Thank you, Dr. Morgan, and to our mayor, congratulations. We look forward to the next 4 years. As I am joined by my colleagues today, and as I share my thoughts with you, the city of Cleveland, with regards to our children. More than 2 decades ago, the late Congressman Louis Stokes asked me to succeed him as the co-chair of the Bond Accountability Commission. And during that time, when we looked at facilities, we knew that we had a great challenge. We had resources to build a few, but we didn't understand at that time that we would lose the kind of population that we have lost over the last few decades. And with that, those schools that we were not able to build or rebuild or create the warm, safe, and dry spaces that we desired continued to deteriorate. So therefore, the Building Brighter Futures plan is the way forward to educate our children. But in the midst of that, some will choose to fight it, some will choose to be for it. But while you're choosing, whatever your side is, we choose to stand with our mayor, our CEO, and our children. So wherever we can, we will stand with and for children. Again, you have the right to choose, but at the end of the day, we will stand for the children of the city of Cleveland.
Thank you, Dr. Matthews, and to our beloved mayor. Again, we congratulate you on another new term, and to our CEO, Dr. Morgan, Dr. Phillips, and all you have gathered. It is an honor to have our clergy come together for a worthy cause concerning our children, our young people, and our next generation. These past 12 months, I have been blessed to work with the school board and a great team of board members who have also observed the rigorous work of our CEO and all of his staff, who have done critical data and have come to the conclusion that they have come to guide us into building brighter futures. And now that our CEO has communicated well and he has shown transparent vision for the future, we need to come together and support this endeavor. It's all about our children, our scholars, for their future, and making our city such a great city that we can only envision what can happen in the future as our schools become better. And so I want to say that the team of the CMSD and all of those who I work with, I'm grateful for our chair of the board and all of the board members, and we will be vetting and looking through more and more all of this vision in order to make a decision. And all we ask is that we would have the support of all of our city individuals in this endeavor. And I want to say, as a minister, as a pastor, pastoring in this city for 30 years and living as a resident in this city, I'm excited about this season. And I believe that there are some fruitful things that's going to occur as a result of this rigorous and this hard work. And so I want to applaud actually the team for all their hard work, study and preparing themselves, and just glancing over and looking over and vetting through material in order to make these critical decisions. Not easy decisions, and change is always a difficult thing, but we know that we can make a change for the better of our scholars. And I want to thank our CEO again and thank our mayor. Thank you.
Well, first, I want to just thank Dr. Morgan and the board for their leadership over the last several years. Dr. Morgan, not only is being a mayor a tough job in these uncertain times right now across the country, but leading a major urban school district is a tough job across the country. So let's give Dr. Morgan a round of applause for his leadership. And I think it's important to set the context of how we got here and the progress that we've made. As Dr. Morgan mentioned in his presentation to the board last evening, we've seen a nearly 50% reduction in the number of children going to CMSD over the last several decades. And that has required us to make some hard choices about the future of our footprint. Right. I know change is hard. I know change is very hard in Cleveland. But our children are suffering as a result of us not having the political courage to make hard decisions about the future of this district. And so this is going to be a hard endeavor for Dr. Morgan, the board, and the community, for our families and our students. And as we contemplated this effort, as the mayor who partners with Dr. Morgan and the board every single day to make sure CMSD is going in a brighter future. I had several clear mandates. Number one, make sure this effort was student and family centered. Number two, as we contemplate these mergers, it's imperative that our students are going to better buildings, but also better buildings offering a higher quality education inside those buildings. And thirdly, let's make the right calls now. So that we don't have to come back in 2 years or 3 years looking for these kind of cuts. And so as we went to the polls last year to pass the levy with an historic margin and win rate, we told the voters that we were going to use that mandate to do what we're doing right now. Making the hard choices to reimagine our footprint for CMSD. And as it says in the good book, Clergy, in James, faith without works is dead. Faith without works is dead. And so we put the faith in our teachers every day to educate our scholars and young people. We put our faith in our custodians and our principals and our crossing school guards to make sure they're supporting our young people. Now we have to do the work to make sure they have what they need, our children have what they need to achieve their God-given potential. Let me also say this, and this data point is what has fired me up about the importance of this campaign, because this will be a campaign to make the case to the residents and the families of why this decision and investment is needed. Only 70 students right now are in Algebra 1 across CMSD before they go to high school. You would never see that in Shaker. You would never see that in Beechwood or Orange or any other suburban school district across this state. And so we are going to control our destiny here in Cleveland. So with the federal uncertainty we have and cuts coming out of DOE, with the issues with property taxes going on in Columbus, we cannot afford more of the same. And so I want to thank Dr. Morgan and the board for their courageous leadership. And having the clergy support is important because many members of our community belong to their churches.
Absolutely.
Correct.
And it's important that they join us in this coalition to make sure we are doing God's work to build a brighter future for our young people. So with that being said, Dr. Morgan and myself look forward to taking a couple of questions. Dr. Morgan? Harry? Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Each of you, and those that have spoken, have talked a little bit about those that may not agree with this plan. What are you going to do to pull them into the fold to make sure they understand what the state and they get the buy-in from those who may be opposed to the mergers and closures?
Yeah. I'll start and I'll have Dr. Morgan chime in. Look, I think one of the things that we've done a really good job of in partnership with CMSD and the school board, we've been engaging with community over the last 2 years about the challenges and opportunities facing CMSD. So this should not come as a surprise to folks out in the community. Secondly, we're going to make it plain.
That's right.
The facts are the facts.
Yes.
So if we don't make these hard decisions now, we're going to be facing a nearly $150 million deficit over the next couple years, or state takeover.
Yes, right.
And so it's important that we continue to be the masters of our own destiny and put the district on a better pathway towards financial sustainability. Now, Dr. Morgan and the board have already made a lot of drastic cuts and financial savings to shore up the district's finances. And I want to thank the voters of this city who supported the levy last year. But we're open to alternatives, but the facts are the facts. And for us to make sure our young people have the skills, the opportunity, and the education they need to compete for college, career, and life, CMSD must live up to its full potential, and this plan is a part of meeting that mandate. Dr. Morgan?
Yeah, most definitely, and thank you, Mayor. The only thing I would add to that is that we are prepared to support our families in this time. So actually starting today, we are already meeting with staffing groups. We're doing some tomorrow and on Monday We start both parent and staff meetings on November 12th, and those will go all the way into the first week of December. So going into every impacted school community, and that's not just the ones that are transitioning schools that are merging into another one, but even those welcoming schools, those welcoming school communities, we're meeting with them. We're also meeting with other staffing groups, those that work at central office, other different groups that work in our system, because we know a plan of this scale impacts our entire system. And so it's important for us to clarify the message, get the message out there, make it clear and plain, and at the same time to get those questions, listen to the feedback. And that's really important for what we're doing to engage in this month between the board's intention to vote.
Ramiro, Dr. Morgan, question about the schools that you'll be taking offline. What's your plan then for what to do with those properties? As I understand it, you'd have to offer them to charters first, right, before you maybe sold them to a developer or something like that?
Well, we see this as a unique opportunity at City Hall to make sure we're working in tandem with the district to reimagine what those schools and assets can be. For example, we have a new high school in the southeast side with JFK, and we partner with the district to redevelop the old JFK school site. So over the next couple of weeks, you'll see a plan be announced from my administration in partnership with CMSD, outlining our vision for those old school sites to ensure they're integrated to a broader community development strategy for those respective neighborhoods. Anyone add to that?
Yeah, no, just that we're working really closely with our city and city partners to reimagine building reuse, and building reuse is both thinking about how we invest in the communities, as well as thinking about some properties that will still be within CMSD and how they could be repurposed for the system.
And following on that, do you have any concerns or belief that you're going to see a decline in enrollment because of this, with families saying, my neighborhood school's gone, I'm going to go somewhere else?
Yes, so a couple of things that I've shared this. Our market share of families choosing CMSD over the past 5-6 years has been consistent. So families are choosing our system. Our decline in enrollment is largely due to birth rates. But also, I say right now, with Building Brighter Futures and the academic promise that we're proposing, 100% of high schools having college and career opportunities, 100% of our elementary schools now having enrichment courses. Not only do we have a richer system for our scholars that we have, I say attract more families into our system, because we're offering it and we have room.
Mr. Mayor, we've heard concerns from some residents about particularly the high schoolers merging into new buildings and sites, particularly when it comes to Collinwood and Glenville. Just talking about the rivalry, violence that already exists, and things happening in the neighborhood. Are you confident there's going to be a safety plan in place to navigate some of those mergers that are taking place?
Safety was a key principle that we used to really reimagine how we thought about the footprint. Since my second year in office, we've been meeting quarterly, I believe, with Dr. Morgan, his command staff at the police department at CMSD, my command staff with the Cleveland Police Department, as well as other key stakeholders like RTA as well too. And so at the forefront, we've been looking at what are the safety considerations as we contemplate these mergers across our footprint at CMSD. And I'm confident, given the work that Dr. Morgan and his leadership team have conducted, that those things have been taken into consideration, and we'll be meeting with those families who have issues or concerns as we contemplate this new plan for the district. Yes?
So this is a large-scale plan that's virtually impacting every school community. Do you guys have any concerns about the implementation factor and being able to accomplish that by the fall?
Yeah, implementation is key. And one of the things I heard in this fall engagement was, why don't we know? Why is it taking so long? And it's because it's a big plan with a lot of details. And, you know, we're calling it Building Brighter Futures, and we want it to be a brighter future by making sure we have a plan. And so there's a lot of work that goes into it. There's a lot of work that went into it thus far. The intentionality around it, we've been working with others, not only within our system, but also experts across the country. And speaking about my colleagues across the country, you know, many people are looking at what Cleveland is doing because there are a lot of other systems facing these same challenges: declines in enrollment, costs going up over time, budget deficits and at the same time not offering the academic programming. And so I'm actually on a call later on this afternoon with other superintendents across the country, just learning what's happening here and also helping to give advice as we do this work. So this is the intentionality that we're going into this plan. And should the board vote on December 9th, we have a semester to really make sure we do strong execution and implementation, and we've charged ourselves with it. As you can see, we have our strong board goals. Our board definitely holds me accountable and our team accountable to do this, and we owe it to the Cleveland community to ensure that this is a strong plan.
You got time for one more question? Connor?
What about layoffs, though? $30 million a year, how much of that is going to be coming from staff cuts?
Yeah, so one of the things that we know we have to look at is making sure we have the enrollment in every building. And so should the board vote on this on December 9th, it's really important that families make a choice. So families these are all mergers, so students have a reserved seat at their school. So what you saw last night, if you're a school that's ending instruction this year and you're recommended to merge with another community, you have a reserved seat. But we need you to confirm that reserved seat once that choice portal opens. We also need families, if you're thinking about choosing another site, to confirm that seat or enter into the choice portal during January through February, because the sooner we know the enrollment in the building, the sooner we'll know the budget and the sooner we can determine our staffing. The other thing I would say about that is that we have every year attrition, and we have current vacancies right now. And so between attritions, vacancies, and also determining the enrollment, we may end up where we need to be, but we won't know until families make a choice. So that's what we're going to be working really hard to do in the coming months.
Great. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. Thank you.
I think it's over time.